This.
Sunday Soak, we are back, baby. Back of a big White Sox victory. It's the Sunday Soak Mother's Day edition. We're powered by More Than Dawgs. Now in the northeast corner of 34th and Shields. Go get some shit right now when you're headed to the game. My Sox Summer, what's up?
If you're a mom, they're giving you a free dog.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at that. Wow.
And I'm going to talk to them about my next marketing idea, which is show hog, free dog. That's going to be Father's Day. Hang hog, free dog.
Free dog. I absolutely love it. How you boys doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. I thought I'd be hungover for this one, but I'm in good shape right now.
Yeah, we kept it moderate.
Yes, I slept like a fortune cookie. My neck is still fucking hurting. I don't know why.
We'll get some jets on you after we're done with this performance.
We got at the bar afterwards. And
we did. We went out to the bar for a little bit. We did. We went to court for a couple. Not too many.
You know, we went to
hang
court.
with your buddy, Chigerian Prince. You couldn't pronounce it, but
we went to court.
I like Chigerian.
You know, two tree beers. Right?
Just two tree.
After the game. At 11 p.m., my boy Vinny Baseball texts me, "Hey, you still at court?" Absolutely not. I've been home for hours.
Exactly. Hey, that's what you gotta love about the shorter baseball games, earlier starts. You get in the house, right? We got home, Mrs. Beef and I, and Bonita, and we ordered a pizza, and like normal, just watching normal TV. I was like, man, it wasn't even that late of a night. Absolutely loved it. All right, Sunday Soak is an all-question show, and we're gonna lead off with a longtime guy, Liam Menus. And Menu says, who do you consider the spokesperson for Chicago? And it gives some choices. Jim Belushi, Mancow Muller, or John and Joan Cusack. My Sox Summer, why don't you start?
So, we have to pick these guys, right? Are we
You can do whatever you want.
We can do whatever we want?
Yeah, this is America. It's a free country, all right?
Even though he kind of talked a little bit of trash about our guy, White Sox Dave, I probably align a little bit more with John and Joan Cusack. Even with the bullshit, both sides of Chicago.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a really not a good mix. Jim Belushi only shows up when the Hawks are good and raping people. So, like, I'm gonna have to go with John and Joe Cusack.
Trezo, how about you?
I feel like that wasn't a figurative. I'll go with Mr. T. Is that on the list?
Should have Mr.
He's
T.
bad too.
Jerry Springer's dead, so it's Mr. T. Mr. T for me.
Yeah, I gotta go John and Joan Cusack because John Cusack, big beef loaf guy on Twitter. Not sure if you guys knew.
Yeah.
But he gave me the follow back, man. Especially after I talk shit. He follows me. Especially after I talk shit about my Sox Summer and White Sox Dave in a picture together. He gave me the follow.
Did he
stayed
really?
with me, yes.
Oh, that's
he stayed with me. So he's been with me since basically almost opening weekend of Sox. So I got to go with he's my man now. He's my man.
I didn't know you guys were friends.
We're
awesome.
we're holding it down.
Let's get him right here.
No. That's we got enough star power in this tub. We don't need that anymore. Okay, you don't need the egos getting into everything, right? Great question, Liam. Next question is from Shane Spagnola, and Shane says, since you guys are doing the Lufthansa heist, who's in your crew, and what member from the movie Goodfellas is you guys? So I brought this up after we went and did the out of town trip. I always think about it afterwards, like we have our normal crew that's always there. The 108ers, and then the our normal group, the larger group of us, and then the Sox Machine and their kind of larger group of people. And I always thought, like, what heist could we pull off as a group? And so out of the Lufthansa heist, Treasy, kind of who are the players in here? Or who are you at least out of the group?
If I'm taking someone in the crew,
yeah.
Right, if I'm adding someone to the crew, it's an airport heist, right?
It's an airport heist.
You know who we got? Dan Reyes.
He's the inside
man. You meet the inside man.
Yeah.
He's got Midnight Commandant.
He's like Frenchie. Yeah, he's like Frenchie. He's gonna get us inside. Yeah, absolutely right.
So I mean, that's an easy one.
Yeah. And who are you out of the crew then?
Oh, I'm definitely Stacks. You're gonna have to kill me.
You forgot to get the car.
The one time I wake up late.
He and I are gonna make this coffee to go.
Fall asleep in the getaway car?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm falling asleep in the getaway Uber. You know that.
Absolutely. How about that? What do you think?
I am 100% Henry Hill because I'm not even there because my fucking kids fucked it up, so I couldn't even go.
That's how
I'm not even out of it. I'm just so happy for everybody that I had
Slamming
to
the
get
shower
really,
ball.
Yep, I had to get really coked out and celebrate for him. And who was the guy that got hung in the meat truck and was frozen? With
Carbone.
Frankie
Carbone.
Frankie Carbone. That is Wally money, 100%. Like he's the guy. Yeah, he's totally fucked.
I've always wondered this about that movie. So
Yeah.
they found him in that truck. They still sold that meat, right? Like
That was right next door.
Yeah,
Oh,
the meat all
100%.
around him. Someone ate all
Yes,
that meat.
Hey, are
absolutely.
we gonna sell this? Absolutely. No way we gotta know about this guy. We can't sell him.
Just put that in a
But we
separate
can
truck.
sell everything else.
Unless I eat him. Unless it's like whoever's hung in that meat truck, I'm gonna eat that guy.
That's called a callback. Watch the What a Lit podcast every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central.
I always think that out of that group, I would be Johnny Roast Beef. That I would get whacked out for something incredibly fucking stupid. And that car was a real stupid reason.
God.
I still have that saved on my phone, a picture of him looking out at that pink fucking car that he bought, that huge pink car, right after they pull off a gigantic heist. Like one of the dumbest things you could possibly do.
We get busted because Beef finally fixed his rearview mirror.
Like, where'd he get that money from? Great question, Shane. Next question is from White Sox Sal.
Hey, fuck you, Sal.
And Sal asks, Mother's Day question, who's your top 3 hottest TV moms? I figure we just batted around, but I'd love to start off. For me, as a kid growing up, sowing my oats, getting my first chubs, it was Peg Bundy. Far and away, man. She wasn't supposed to be hot, I don't think. Because the focus was on Christina Applegate's character, Kelly. But even when you're a young man, you're like, oh my God, what is that? So Peg Bundy's got to be in the crew, boys.
I mean, that is the number one. That's the GOAT. She's like, going back and watching that, you're like, what the fuck is wrong with Al?
Yeah, exactly.
Al never wants to have sex with Peg. She's hot.
Yeah. Totally
She's like, I could reuse her in fucking Sons of Anarchy.
Yep.
Because the fastball's still there.
Oh,
She'll kill some motherfuckers.
Kill
Yeah. So that's a dangerous one. That's a little more dangerous one.
A little sketchier there.
I never watched the show, but Lauren Graham was on Gilmore Girls,
Yes.
and ever since she fucked Santa Claus, I've had a little bit of a thing.
Fuck me, Santa. Fuck me, Santa.
You know, when you look like that drunk ass Santa Claus, I mean, kind of looks like me. So I got my hopes up.
Yeah,
My hopes up.
this is you with Violet Myers, this motherfucker.
It just got my hopes up.
In the movie.
In the movie, yeah, absolutely. How about us? Who we got?
The first person that comes to mind, Marge Simpson. She's pretty fucking hot.
See, I think Lois Griffin over Mark.
Yeah, you got a good point there, but Marge is more like, I don't know. She seems more
Don't you
down
say
to
her
earth.
nose is too big, motherfucker.
Oh, I didn't say that. I didn't say anything about that.
What about her hair? I like
Fine.
the hair.
Yeah,
March hair?
Yeah,
I like the March hair.
Every so often, like I can remember like that she was like Eve, you know, like real quick, and she had her hair down and everything. You're like, okay, all right. Plus, she had 2 sisters, so maybe you might work a 3-way with everything.
Oh, hello.
She's the ultimate ride or die, though.
She is.
You know?
She stuck it out with all those crazy ass motherfuckers.
There's no question.
So-
I mean, what about?
Was Wonder Woman a fucking?
See, you gotta ensure the momness. Otherwise,
So,
you gotta be sure of the momness.
You know, Mona, too. Let's not
Linda
forget about
Carter.
Mona. Yeah, Linda Carter.
Yeah, but I don't know if we got her as a mom.
Yeah,
No.
she wasn't the mom.
Probably
They
not.
didn't mom her for anything.
What about Meredith Baxter Burney?
Who's that?
Oh, Family Ties.
Family Ties.
What about Gloria from what's the name of that show? Modern Family.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Right?
wow.
And that's a high end mom
That's
right there.
that's what we missed out big. If you know what include her.
That's got to be way up there. I wanted to bring at least one Sopranos in there. Charmaine Bucco. Charmaine Bucco was popping out of her shirt constantly in that show, and she was definitely a mom. And Artie is the character, one of the characters I love most in that show because he should have been dead 47,000 times, except the boss of the family was his best friend. That's the only reason he didn't get killed 20 different times.
The mom from the Cosby Show is Felicia Rashad.
Yeah.
That's Rashad.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was always in there. That was always a good one. But her husband would fucking murder me, so I never really thought about it.
Well, also she supported, Bill Cosby at the end.
Well, we ain't got to bring that up.
Let's stay in the TV, not what they do in real life. Okay, we're not delving down into their personal lives.
Well, I was talking about her real life husband, not Bill. I'll keep Bill's ass.
Exactly. I'll slap him silly.
Well, I don't know.
Ahmad Rashad would fuck you up.
Yeah.
But
Even though he's 82 years old now.
Have a pudding pot. Treasy knocked out on the couch.
All right, next question is from Dawgs Sox, longtime guy. Treasy, I've known him a million years. He says, and he says, the White Sox way, he goes, the Kenny meme is basically stay healthy. The Rick Hahn meme is just have a career year. What would be on the Pedro Grifol meme? Treasy, what would be on the Pedro Grifol meme?
I mean, this isn't very White Sox related, but it goes back to that initial interview we heard with him. And I'm going to go, I think my meme of him is my favorite Fleetwood Mac song is Stairway to Heaven.
How about you, MS? What is it like, Pedro?
Pedro, give me a minute. I'll get back to you. Grifol.
It's got to be one related either to preparation, talking about how good they're prepared, and then when they show up out there, they're not prepared. They don't know what the fuck's going on. Or something to do with, remember how he said we're going to get ready to kick your ass or something like that? It is hilarious that he said that, and I see people run that tape back out there for a team that's, 14-27 or whatever the fuck they are.
So like kicking your ass and then the record at the bottom would be a good team.
Yeah, exactly. Is it 7-10 yet? That would be a good one.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the funny thing about this whole hire, because when he said that, everyone was like, this is what I like to hear.
Yeah.
This is what I like. Folks, that's marketing. Marketing is speaking right to you. So if you're like, hey, that's great, that's what we need here. Just remember, this is all marketing bullshit.
Yeah.
Zaza. You fill out those surveys and you tell them what you want to hear, and then fucking Pedro says that shit. So that's how it works, guys. So it don't got a lot of weight behind it, clearly. But 108, a lot of weight behind it. Pedro Grifol, not so much.
That's absolutely correct. Next question is from White Sox Ken. White Sox Ken says, do you think Cease turns it around soon? What do you think is the primary cause of his early season struggles compared to last season? I do. I mean, he pitched last night. He pitched very well. Yeah. But the reason why I thought he'd turn it around is not to brag, but Papa G, Rick Giolito, DM'd me the other day about something else. But then he also brought up Cease, and he said Cease is struggling a little bit. He can't get the slider to work. He goes, once he gets the confidence back in that slider, we'll get regular Cease back. So I don't know what you guys think about that, boys, but I tend to listen to Papa G when he tells me about pitching, and I think he's right here.
I'm with you, and it fits. It fits what we've said previously about him. It seems like it's always between the ears for him. Like it's always a mental thing when he's not pitching well. It's a lot of times, like back in 2020 when he was having struggles, in 2021 even. Yeah. It was a lot of he's trying to pitch around guys. He's not confident going at guys, and when he has the stuff and he feels confident in it and goes at the hitters, it looks like last year. And so I want to see that. And I think that's there. I think he's got to hone in on it. It doesn't help the team being terrible. Right. That's probably adding to it.
Yeah. And like you can't get yourself all worked up about a team that's like sucking ass on the daily. But the one thing that should motivate him is the fact that he probably wants to land somewhere with a really nice contract. Maybe he's getting all the losses and the shit out early so that he can go somewhere, and then get paid.
He's still a White Sox for a while though, so he's not on the where Giolito's got it coming right away. He's got to get to it. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Also, I was looking at it with the Sox machine, Josh. They had a one outing where Pedro pushed him to 113 pitches, and then after that he kind of struggled a little bit. I don't know, maybe he had a little dead arm period after being pushed. He looked good last night, just like he looked good on opening night against Houston. So maybe for whatever reason, their combination of hitters, like you're saying, Treasy, he wasn't afraid to go right the fuck at them and attack. So hopefully he keeps that bulldog mentality and just goes at him, because his stuff is tough, man. Tough for these guys to square up. It always has been. So.
Maybe he knows those guys better. Maybe he's got better scouting on those guys. Maybe maybe that keeps him entertained because he knows they're good. So he doesn't lose fucking focus. Yeah,
that's absolutely right. All right, next question is from SPF. And SPF says, with the recent trend of snack packs going into guaranteed rate field, what would be your choice to put in your snack pack, and what type of items do you think Matt Ramsey and Billy Wires would want in their snack pack? So let's
let's give a huge shout out to Brewhand Luke for the snack packs yesterday.
That was
the crowd going wild for some PB&J.
Some Crustables. He was throwing Crustables into the crowd.
You don't think he was throwing $100? You think he was handing out the turkeys and fucking American gangsters? Like people were going crazy for it. And I think, it's a good job by him. He was high enough to eat all of those fucking
things. So he gave away to the people.
He gave away still. That's, fuck, I was sitting there hungry afterwards.
He was making it rain with Crustables.
He was also very cautious to make sure he wrote grape on the clear bag with all the purple ones.
Yeah, the purple ones.
And then wrote strawberry on the clear bag with all of the red ones.
Detail oriented.
It's like, how high are you going to be, Brewhand Luke? But yeah, he was whipping them, and people that were right by him were yelling because they were mad they didn't get their grapes. They're like, dude, we're right here, man. Why are you giving me? He's like, fuck you.
He's like, you, and he's firing up sidearm out there and shit,
man.
And people are catching him and everything. It was amazing. And people in other sections were yelling for him. He's like, oh, you want one? No, only over here. And he threw it to somebody else. He was really playing the crowd good. So what would you guys want to put in your if you're gonna have a little snack bag? What are you bringing in?
So you know me, man. It's got to be one hand able to be
for sure. Yeah.
You know what I was thinking though would be awesome? Go over to Chinatown, get a bunch of hambas, and just have a fucking couple bags of those. Man, those are fantastic. They're delicious. They're like a bun,
and they have like ham and egg in there, or barbecue pork.
It's like a bow.
Yeah, but it's bigger.
They're big.
Yeah,
you know, and it's
like a full sandwich.
It's like a sandwich, but it's all in a bun, so it's very compact and put together. So like, dude, that's a perfect. It's almost like a Uncrustable or whatever those ones.
Yeah, except filled with meat.
Yeah, it's way better.
MSS, what do you think? What would you put in the little snack bag?
There's only one answer. Jalapeno cheddar dog with fries for my guys. More than dogs right over there. I did that yesterday. Got the fries apparently. I don't know how that happened. There was a big mix-up with some of the orders because Aloha Mr. Hand bought 17 hot dogs and brats and all this stuff. So like they were just going nuts.
Wait, yesterday?
Yesterday.
You know what we had at Tailgates?
You did because when we walked over there first, like the grill wasn't going.
Oh, okay, got it.
And so like he's like tomatoes are getting restless over there. I gotta go get them, save them. And so he was gonna buy 10. I was like, hey, don't buy 10, just buy 8, and then you get 2 for free. Because they got a tailgate pack over there, the Morton Dogs guys on the corner of 34th and Shields. Yeah. But yeah, no, the cheddar dog is a very important cheddar jalapeno dog. Brat is very good with the fucking fries. That's one thing I take in. I also take in fucking peanuts. I like peanuts.
Peanuts is a good call, actually. Yeah. The only thing I find myself eating actually at games, and the White Sox do a fine job because they got Garrett's popcorn, is a popcorn. I like to get a big bucket of popcorn. It's like $7. And it's like the best deal. It's always been the best deal. But if I'm bringing a snack pack, what I really want is chocolate. I want fucking Kit Kats. I want Reese's. But the problem is in the summer, that shit will melt on you. We need a cooling component in there in order to do it. But I can sit there and eat Kit Kats and drink beer all goddamn game. And that would I would be excited about that.
Here's what we do. We get one of those bags of candy, right? And we throw that shit in the freezer.
Yeah.
For like a day. And then when we we take it to the game. That'll be cold for a while.
Or maybe we ask at the Midwest Beer Stand, can you put our bag in the fridge there for a little bit? Yeah, maybe. Maybe not do it. You know,
we freeze some water bottles that we can use to beat people up with and
put them in there. All right, what do we think Matt Ramsey and Billy Wires would have in their bag? Well, Matt Ramsey, he's a vegetarian, so they have a bunch of fucking rabbit food in there. Carrots and celery and more
sticks and grains.
Yeah, boring stuff. No, actually, no one will ever want to eat whatever's in his bag. His bag would be the boring shit.
Billy's is all suppositories.
Bottle of Locro, Pain Shields, new nudie magazine,
lotion,
illegal fireworks,
and some lubricant.
KY jelly.
I think that's the Billy Wires bag right there.
Why do you need all this KY for the game?
Don't worry about it.
He's like,
it's slippery out here. All right, next question is from Nick Borowski. And Nick says, was endorsing the track jacket your choice of giveaways to be involved with? Or was this a take it or leave it deal? And were you involved with the script or storyboard?
Oh, my God.
My Sox Summer, the floor show.
There's a lot of questions. We got a text from our guy over at the Sox, Mike Downey, who is the head of, he's a marketing guy. He's game day marketing, game day entertainment, all this shit. So he's like, hey, would you guys be interested in promoting the track jacket? And I said, I will ask the fellas to see, because I don't make decisions for you guys. And it's a three-way. Make sure. So he tells me, okay, cool. He's like, and I'm like, I sent you guys a message. Are you interested in learning more? He says, yeah. You guys are like, yes, absolutely. We fucking go back. Yes, we're interested in learning more. And he goes, hey, we're thinking of Sopranos stuff. Very slow. Let's go. Let's go.
Working on a Sunday, and you're over here. Oh, hurry it up!
Oh, we're trying latte over here.
So anyway, Mike Downey sends back, yes, we're going to do a track jacket, and it's a Soprano-style theme thing. We're going to shoot at Kathy B's, and I almost immediately said we're in, but I actually sent it to you guys to make sure we were in. I knew we were in, and because we immediately go, we know what's happening. So he's like, we're in. They just like come in and they say, hey, this is what we're going to do. We just have some ideas. We'll bring the stuff. We'll meet on Monday, then Tuesday, then Thursday. And everyone was like, we don't know if it's going to happen, but it did happen. In and out in an hour. I think that speaks to us and speaks to them.
Yeah.
They knew exactly what they wanted. They told us what to do. We were very good at following directives.
They coached us up. That's
very
right.
good directive. And made me walk, I think it was a joke. I think they made me get my steps in because they started still calling me fat. They're like, walk up and down that street 19,000 times and try to like get hit by a car because it will be funny. And it didn't happen. And then they didn't even use like 2 seconds of it.
I so badly wanted you to get hit by a car.
So we did not have any input on what they were doing, but we just were like, we're going with it.
Yeah.
The guys that shoot the commercials asked for us specifically.
They did.
They are fans of the one way, which is very cool. First time meeting us, he asked us for our real names. We refused to give them because we did not want to tear down that third wall.
That's correct.
And so we continued to go that. We did not get any M&Ms that we requested. Ryder went unfulfilled, and they didn't even buy us a sandwich. But we were out of there in an hour, which was fucking amazing.
And the nude scenes were tasteful.
They were.
I
heard they're not going to use them. I'm kind of surprised.
I think the internet only.
And we have seen the ad, and the ad is fucking wonderful.
Yes.
And it is stay to the end. Stay to the end. You need to watch the credits. It's just something that, like, hopefully it goes off soon because it is funny. And it's just nice. It's nice to be included and stuff like that. And it's a nice nod to us as, hey, thank you for doing what you guys are doing, but also a nice big fuck you to the 27 other White Sox blogs and podcasts that don't get to do shit like that. So it makes me, it fulfills my heart on this Mother's Day. Yes.
Absolutely well said. I got nothing to add. All right, next question is from Laser D. And Laser D says, in honor of Mother's Day, tell a great story about your childhood that defines your mom. Treasy, I know you wanted to tell this story, so you go ahead.
Yeah, so this is, so I was in like 5th grade. And I got a note from my teacher to give to my parents, and it basically said that she needed to talk to them. So I was like, oh! I was in fact like that. I was like, whoa, what the fuck did I do? You know, so I'm like all nervous about it and shit. So I give it to my mom, and my mom goes to see the teacher, and she's like, what the fuck did you do? You know, what the fuck's wrong with you? What'd you do? And I was like, I didn't do anything. Which is the everybody says that.
Always,
So,
even if you did some shit, you always say
I don't even know what I did.
Yeah.
And so she goes in there, and the teacher fucking tells my mom, whoa, I don't like him hanging out with this other kid in his class. I think that kid's a bad influence. And my mom said, well, what did he do? And she said, well, he didn't do anything. She said, what did the other kid do? She said, well, nothing. And she said, what the fuck am I here for then? You freaked me out. You freaked my kid out. What are you doing? And what's hilarious is, as I'm telling this story, last night, I saw that motherfucker. Not the teacher. The guy that she said not to hang out with. We've been friends for over 30 years. He's a great fucking guy.
That's absolutely correct.
And at the end of the day, it taught me the lesson that, 2 lessons. My mom's always got my back. Yep. And don't let anyone tell you who the fuck to be friends with or not. None of their fucking business.
That's right. Don't judge incorrectly for you. I distinctly remember her telling us, recanting the story, saying, well, what if my son is a good influence on him? Do you ever think about it from that perspective? Like really shoved it in the teacher's face. Let's exactly. Galaxy, like boom, galaxy brain.
Like you guys who watch this, you know how fucked up I am now. I was a good kid. I was a very good kid.
Straight A's, everything. You know, played sports, all that shit. You know,
straight A's.
Yeah, great story. All right, next question.
Yeah, fuck my mom.
I didn't know if you wanted to tell us.
No, the only thing I'll say is my mom is a very loose, or she's a devout Catholic, but she also has a little bit of wiggle room. She was the one that let me watch In Living Color. She was the one that gave me George Carlin's Class Clown.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to that. That's and was very into comedy and understands comedy. She understands 0 things we do in the One Way podcast and thinks it's just a bunch of swearing and using lewds. And just like whatever, but it's like, so she doesn't understand what I do, but she definitely put me on the path of being able to converse with you twos about shit like that.
You've been using Quaaludes and you didn't tell us? God damn.
He's not bringing up for the class.
Yeah, no, I ain't sharing.
I wish I had some lose. Well, not right now. But
You need them for that neck.
maybe
Yeah,
Tuesday.
loosen you up a little
Oh,
bit.
man.
Son of a bitch.
Still killing me.
All right,
Good
next question is from longtime guy Shankster. Shankster, that's MSS's boy
Yeah.
from back in
He
the day.
shoots the Sterling.
That's
What?
absolutely right. He says for these White Sox Twitter takeovers, do you guys prefer bars before the game, or do you prefer to be able to tailgate like we were able to do in Wisconsin? Went up there to see the Milwaukee Brewers and Sox. Trees.
Oh, it's bars.
I mean,
it's
so
bars.
simple.
It's
Yeah.
bars by a million miles. I mean, like, that's why we got so much respect for the bums being out there doing these tailgates, because like that's a pain in the ass,
Yeah,
man.
it's
There's
a lot
a
of
lot
work.
to do.
Yeah.
The thing in Milwaukee was fucking crazy because like we didn't even have like we were supposed to have like 6 cars coming up, and then we could only get 5 spots.
Yeah.
So we just fucking like rode in on each other's asses so close that they couldn't keep track of like how many let through, and just all the cars got
So
through.
we got in there,
And
right?
like I don't want to deal with that. I want to just walk up like I did in Cincy on Friday.
Yeah.
I just walk up, I turn the corner, and here's all you motherfuckers. I'm like, can I
I'm
have
right
one of
there.
these beers?
Yeah.
I'm in. All
Let's
right.
go. And then everyone bought some, everyone's coming to consider it. Now, I will say this. I agree, too. The bars is, like, from the playing perspective, so much easier. We don't need a fucking Google Sheet doc from Josh Nelson about who's bringing what, who's going to be where. I mean, he's a great den mom, but, like, we don't need to do that. We just show up, you eat off the fucking menu, you figure it out.
Exactly.
Like, that's all but when we were in Milwaukee, everybody and their mother, despite seeing the picture of my entire car filled with Goose Island beer, brought their own beer and their own ice. So we had to go back home with all of the Goose Island beer.
Well, not all of it.
No,
We
they
brought
drank
20
all the Sox
cases.
in.
We probably
Yeah.
ended up bringing back 8 or something like that.
I was gonna say the shandy got blown through.
Yeah,
that one.
Because it was 877 degrees
Yeah.
on that fucking thing.
Yeah, I like the bar as well because you got control over the environment. When you go out there and tailgate, you don't know if it's going to rain or if it's going to be 90 degrees like that. There's also a big swinging dick standpoint of we go to some other city and we take over one of their fucking bars where it's all Sox fans
That was
everywhere.
great.
That's always fun.
Because the way that Holy Grail was set up, it's on a corner.
Yeah.
So there's like one outdoor area that's facing the stadium, and then there's one on this middle kind of street that is closed off, and it's like you could like everybody's out there drinking.
Yep.
And so people in red stuff were coming around that corner into like 150 White Sox fans and all Sox in 108 gear, and they were like, "What the fuck is this?" And I loved it. I loved it.
Absolutely perfect. All right, next question is from Scott Hoffman, and Scott says, "How do I make the pain go away?" I was thinking penicillin, but you guys, what choices you have here?
Well, I mean, they used to use a hammer to get it out, but like
that's
risky.
risky.
I think that's why it's called the clap. But for real, like I assume you're talking about the White Sox.
Yeah.
And like this is real advice. This is like what we did through the rebuild. So just stop thinking about how this game pertains to the rest of the season and just enjoy it as one singular entertainment event, right? Like the way you go to a concert. Like when you go to see a band, you don't think, I wonder what this band's going to be like at the end of the year. You just enjoy that moment. You listen to how they're playing those songs tonight and the version that you get to ingest yourself. So just watch the game like, hey man, I'm just watching a baseball game with a team I like.
Yep.
And just root for your team. Maybe
Or
bet on the other team to hedge your anxiety,
your emotions.
But yeah, I mean, like I think that's the way that I do it. I mean, like this season could get real long if we start thinking about it. Like, are they going to make the playoffs? What are they going to do at the trade deadline?
Right.
We'll talk about that stuff on the podcast. But when we're watching the game, we're just watching that one game, enjoying that one game. It was high fives all around when there's home run yesterday.
Yeah, Luis Robert crushes one, and we're mashing hands all over the goddamn place. You know, they get that rally in the 8th inning to take the lead. We're mashing high fives and fist bumps everywhere, all over the goddamn place. Me and Gabe giving the boxing fist bump that we've been doing. That's some fun shit. MSS, what do you think?
I mean, listen, our base is very much alcohol friendly and very 420 friendly. If you don't smoke, you can eat it. If you don't like, and if you don't like to drink, you got all sorts of different things and options. Listen, I drink Light Sky. It's one of the worst beers in the world. I think there's one other fucking podcast where a guy drinks the worst beer in the world. So we have everybody in our section. So this come through. That's the easiest way. We do it as a group. If you do it as a group, you can get happy. It's fun. It's fun to see fucking big nose motherfucker over here jump up as soon as there's a fly ball in the air and then start running
hands
out
up.
and just touching everybody.
You're right though, MSS. If you're in Chicago and you have the ability to get to a game, like come to a Sox game and sit with us, man. It's fun. If you're not, when we do the playbacks on Tuesday nights away games, watch those with us, man. Yeah. Enjoy it. Let's do it as a community. It's a lot easier to take in.
It's more to have fun. And we've done this since we've been on White Sox Twitter, which has been a long time now. It's been 7-8 years. Even when things going bad, we keep the humor going. That's how we deal with things. And I see a lot of you out there with the screaming and yelling, but the OGs like us, we like to deal in humor because it's better for you. It's better to laugh than to be mad all the goddamn time. So let's just have a laugh here or there. That's the way we do.
Yep. By the way, I'm really mad. I'm going to scream the entire time.
All right, next question from Missy. Missy says, if I was throwing a darty, what would each of you bring? I know what I'd bring, and my Sox would try to eat it before we got there. Cookie cake.
Oh my god, baby. That's a good call. Good.
That's good. That's good for a day party, right?
Yeah. You know what I'm bringing?
What's that?
I think this is an underrated thing to bring. It's very cheap to do. Like if you're going to a darty, and like you're being considerate of the host and everything. Yeah. I like to buy just a bunch of limes and cut those motherfuckers up in advance. Yeah. So that no one's got to deal with it. There's just a bag of limes if you want to put that in your beer.
Logistically, no one wants to cut
that shit up. Yeah. No one's got to. You don't want anyone with a knife after after 2 hours of darty. No knife.
That's right. No knife.
No knife. And so that I just always felt like that's a nice thing to bring with when you're doing like an all day event at someone's house.
How about you, MSS?
You know, I'm going to do something, and I'm disappointing you guys regularly, but I'm especially disappointing you right now. Fucking bottle of Fireball, for Christ's sake.
Oh, my God.
You got to get everybody liquid, and you got to get going, right? Yeah. Like, in what better way than
quick start?
Everybody catch whatever disease I have, and I'm going to put my mouth on this bottle, and then give it to you, then give it to you, and then give it to you know, like.
Yeah. Or you get the little bottles.
Could do that.
I got those in the basement.
Yeah, you get
the bucket of little bottles. I couldn't figure out how to open them, so I had to cut it open.
I assumed that everyone assumed that we were bringing beer. Right? Like we're already that's already covered.
Okay, so
I'm saying the other stuff, but I think the Fireball's a great call.
I'm going with them. I'm gonna go with those big sourdough pretzels then, like the big, not the little guys, not the little guys, the big ones. Because it fits into the one hand, right?
Yeah.
Plus it's bread and it sucks up all the fucking nastiness, right?
Yeah.
And people forget.
And you don't.
They get too excited.
They're salty too. They're salty.
You don't want a big bowl of pretzels. Everybody's digging their hands in, right?
The big one,
the big boy.
Yes.
Pull the fuck out of here.
God.
Ooh, almost letting the dude.
Damn, I haven't been rejected like that. And you know what's funny? Yesterday, Dan Reyes,
he got me all worked up.
I told me
yesterday.
He told me yesterday, so let's play a pickup game, beef. I'll beat your shit. I'm like, damn, man. He got it right in my face, and he's confident too.
You know, I was having a conversation.
But we're about the same height.
Yeah, he's sneaky tall.
Yeah,
and he's got long arms.
Yeah,
and I was talking to him, and like, it's funny because like you talk to people about basketball, right?
Yeah.
And, like everybody wants to tell how they score so much. Dan Reyes was like, fuck all that. He was telling me about how good of a defender he is.
Do you want
and he just blocks everybody's shit. He's like, I got a good one. I blocked this dude's shot, and he still had the ball in his hand when he came on the ground. I was like, yeah, that's how you do it.
That's intimidating, right?
He's got the Dennis Rodman.
All right, next question is from Sammy Davis Jr. 5K. Says, better dish at Franco's, chicken jardinera or pork chop Vesuvio? I think we can all take a turn, but I regularly order the pork chop Vesuvio. That's my number one. It's a gigantic pork chop, and the real key here is like they keep a pork chop that's like this, juicy and delicious all the way through. It seems like an impossible feat, so it's got to be that. It has to be that.
I'm way behind you on this one. I love it. I love it because the pork chop is one thing that I will order when I go out to like a nice restaurant.
Yeah.
Because I cannot cook a fucking pork chop.
Oh,
if I cook a pork chop, that shit is like a piece. It's either like a piece of wood or it's trichinosis.
I can't cook one as thick as they do it. That's very impressive that they keep that.
It's slow and low.
It is slow and low.
Slow and low.
Hey, look, man, you feel free to cook me a pork chop any
I will. I don't like the thick ones either, just because it is a little rough.
It's tough to cook,
but also the kids, fucking kids,
ruin his life. Ruin his pork chop life.
I gotta pay attention to them. I got another thing going, and then the fucking pork chop all of a sudden it's a drag out.
Yeah.
But the kids also you can't undercook a pork chop because it's not good for you.
Right.
And so, but yeah,
you can cook it. Hang on, you can cook it to a degree less than people think. People get worried. They want it well done. It does not need to be well done, but you don't want a medium rare pork chop showing up.
No.
Like, you don't want that.
When it's like shark tasting salt and it's mushy.
Yeah, you don't want that. That's not
you
good.
can undercook a steak all day.
Yes.
Right? Like, because most of the disease is on the outside.
Right. And that's already been flashed off there. So
You don't have to worry about that. But a pork, no. Swine.
You get a little touch. Oh! Ribbing dog! You're about to have a real big day today.
What a day.
If it would have won in, I wouldn't have ever believed it.
Dude, this left. All right, last question. Let's close this out with Billy Wires. Billy Wires says, in honor of Mother's Day, which current White Sox player do you think is strong enough?
Triple Indy.
Oh, hope everything went okay.
That's so wrong.
Man, I hope it didn't derail. I'll start reading this over. Billy Wire says, in honor of Mother's Day, which current White Sox player do you think is strong enough to carry a child for 9 months and birth it? My Sox summer, you're first.
Lance Lynn. like Kopech
might be carrying
on mine, but Lance Lynn definitely. I'm like, he's a motherly type. I can tell.
Yeah.
He's like the leader in that clubhouse with the pitcher or with the bullpen or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. With the starting pitchers, Corral. He's the leader. He's the leader. He's fine. That's the motherfucker. He's also got them birthing hips. He's fine.
I mean, maybe that's what he needs to turn the season around. Finally give birth to that child.
He's been holding it so long.
The gestation has been over a year now. God.
Teresa, how about you?
You know, you were talking about the hips. I immediately thought about Eloy, but like that's a rough go. But I think Sebi Zavala would love to carry Matt Ramsey's child.
or the inverse,
or vice versa.
Well, he's going to carry. Sebi's going to carry it, right?
Okay, yeah, he has to. He's the only one big and strong.
Yeah, you can't get the vegetarian.
Exactly. Thank you.
You give nutrients to that child.
I can't wait to get canceled by all you rabbit fucking food eaters.
God damn.
It's a joke. I eat a lot of vegetarian stuff.
I was thinking about the guy who we always underestimate how goddamn strong he is, because when the Sox got in some dust-ups last year, he was the guy who would fucking headlock Jose Abreu, who's a beast himself. Yeah. Gavin Sheets.
Yeah.
Gavin Sheets is not only very strong and well-built, but he's super athletic. Like, you see him, like, tumble to the ground in the outfield and you think he's going to get hurt, but he doesn't. He's durable, man. So I think he's the man cut out for this job.
I've never wanted to have a child, but now that this option's on the table, maybe he'll carry mine.
I would agree with you, him carrying the baby to term, but once the baby's out, I can't trust him to catch it or hold it.
The one with the instinct might not be there.
He can catch it just don't look good, all right?
Oh!
It might fall down.
I just remember yesterday at the game, Gavin made a play like up against the net, and we were like, "Oh, great play by Gavin!" And White Sox Dave sitting there, he goes, "That was not a great play."
Well, that's our show. That's all we got. Cheers. Enjoy the game over there. Treasy, not going to be there. We're going to be celebrating Mother's Day with our mom and with my wife.
I will be there. So don't sit in their fucking seats, because that's where my family's sitting.
My Sox Summer will be up there, so go say hi to him.
Please don't make it weird with my wife.
Stop at More Than Dawgs on your way over there. Let's go, boys. Let's get a victory. Let's get this series win. My Sox Summer and I predicted 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3.
Let's get that 2 out of 3,
2 out of 3.
Hell yes.
Fuck you, True.
I got you.